About 2 weeks ago, everything I thought I knew about my future shifted with a single text message. My fiancée, Sarah, sent me a short and casual note that carried a weight far heavier than the words themselves. It read, asterisk, I'm crashing at Nathan's for a bit to sort things out. Don't make a big deal. Asterisk, Nathan, her college ex. The same man who had hovered like a ghost in the background of our relationship. Months earlier, I had stumbled across some old texts between them. Playful exchanges she brushed off as harmless. He still left comments on her posts online, light-hearted enough to seem innocent, but pointed enough to make me uncomfortable. She had assured me he was firmly in the past, a closed chapter. Yet, here she was, choosing his place to think things through, while we had an engagement, wedding plans, and a life intertwined over 3 years. I read her message again and again, my stomach twisting with each repetition. At first, I wanted to demand answers, to know why him, why now. But instead, I responded with only, asterisk, take as long as you need. Asterisk, then I turned my energy elsewhere. If she had chosen to create distance, I would honor it, but on my terms. I began the process of dismantling the life we had built. The lease of our apartment was in my name only, something she had never insisted on changing. I called the building management and had her name removed from the resident list. Her key card privileges were deactivated, cutting her access to the gym, rooftop, and parking. The phone line I had been covering for her, since her own broke, was canceled. I moved her portion of our joint savings into her personal account. Then, piece by piece, I packed her belongings, clothes, gadgets, keepsakes, and shipped them to her parents' house with a note that said simply, asterisk, these are Sarah's. Please make sure she gets them. Asterisk, I didn't call, didn't text, didn't beg. I simply untangled myself from her. The next day, her mother called, bewildered. Sarah hadn't told them anything. I calmly explained that she was staying with her ex to clear her mind and that I was giving her space. Her mother's pause spoke volumes. For days later, the concierge of my building called. Sarah was downstairs, insisting she lived there. Her key card didn't work. Her name wasn't on the list. Asterisk, should I send her up? Asterisk, they asked. My answer was simple. Asterisk, no. Miss Thompson doesn't live here anymore. Asterisk, that decision opened the floodgates. Calls poured in from numbers I didn't recognize. The first voicemail was Sarah's voice, shaking. Asterisk, what's going on, Michael? They won't let me in. Call me back. Asterisk, then came anger, then desperation, then a message from her parents' phone. Softer, asterisk, Michael, I messed up. Can we talk? Asterisk, I remained silent until that night, when I sent one final message via her parents' phone. I made everything clear. There was no our apartment, no our phone plan, no our wedding. She had chosen to stay at her ex's. Her belongings were already at her parents'. If anything was missing, she could send me a list. Her friends, her brother, even her father reached out. I respected her father, so when he asked to meet privately, I agreed. At the cafe, he tried to defend her. Asterisk, she just needed a breather. Nathan's only friend. Asterisk, I quietly pulled out my phone, not a recording, but notes I'd written after overhearing Sarah one night. Thin walls had carried her voice to me. She was on the phone with Nathan, saying, asterisk, yes, we're engaged. No, I haven't told him. It's messy, but I'll deal with it. Asterisk, her father's face crumbled. He whispered, asterisk, her mother and I taught her better. Asterisk, I nodded. Asterisk, I know you did. Asterisk, that was the end of the conversation. Since then, Sarah's story has shifted like sand in the wind. At first, she claimed I overreacted. Then she said Nathan was just helping her with wedding stress. Later, she accused me of being possessive. Eventually, she pleaded that it was only one mistake. But her actions, leaving for days without contact, choosing him as her place of refuge, spoke louder than any excuse. In a twist of irony, Nathan's own girlfriend reached out to me. She had been told Sarah was just a friend needing support. But she found messages on his phone that hinted at something more. She left him. Now, both of us stand in the wreckage of relationships we thought were solid. Sarah's younger sister later texted me, apologizing after hearing the full story, ashamed of initially siding with her. Even her father eventually returned my family's heirloom engagement ring with a note. Asterisk, this belongs to your family. Asterisk, it was a quiet gesture of respect amid the chaos. I haven't spoken to Sarah directly since that night. Her emails, which I only check weekly, have cycled from defensive to remorseful. Her latest said she didn't do anything with Nathan, that she just needed clarity. But even if that were true, no one texts their fiancé to announce they're staying with their ex as though it's casual. That was the breaking point. The rest was simply me rebuilding my life. People have asked if I threw away years over one mistake. I don't see it that way. It wasn't just one moment. It was the secrecy, the poor choices, the disrespect, and the disregard for the bond we had. Trust doesn't unravel all at once. It frays with small cuts until finally, it snaps. I'm not bitter, and I'm not vengeful. I simply chose boundaries over chaos. Sarah showed me who she was with her message. I believed her, and I acted.